From the station working for you, this is an RTV6 special report.
Good evening to you at 11 o'clock. I'm Mark Mullins, and like many of you, I'm now working from home due to the coronavirus outbreak. It is one step RTV6 is taking to reduce the number of people who are in the RTV6 studios and newsroom as part of social distancing. Here is now the latest information on the toll COVID-19 is taking on Hoosier lives. The health department is reporting 24 deaths in the state. 981 people have tested positive for this virus, and nearly 7,000 people have been tested.
And I'm Amanda Starantino. Today, the state health department discussed the potential peak of the outbreak. We will get to that shortly, but first, Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory joins us with the Storm Team 6 alert. Kevin.
And Amanda, for most of us, it is still quiet at this hour. There'll be an uptick in some overnight thunderstorms. We'll give you a few headlines. They'll be scattered. Not all of us will see the storms. Slight risk of severe storms. A few would have hail. When it rains, it pours. So whenever we get the rain, it will come down fairly heavy. All of the yellow, which is all of central Indiana, represents where the slight risk is in effect through tomorrow morning. Quick radar tour. What you don't see in central Indiana tells a story. We're dry. I'm going to zip to the south. You just had some rumbles of thunder and a fast-moving area of rain. Moved through Seymour, south of Bedford, headed toward North Vernon. There's more to the southwest that's moving along Interstate 64, and I think a gradual trend overnight will be the shift of some showers and thunderstorms over the northern portion of the state. In the morning, most likely to see some thunderstorms 7 a.m. from Kokomo to Peru, Lafayette, and Marion. By 10 a.m., we begin to calm things down. That's the morning round. We need to talk about the afternoon round of storms. Temperatures around 70. Mark, I'll have the timeline for strong storms tomorrow night coming up.
Kevin, we'll see you soon. Thank you for that. Tonight, the state's top leaders are warning that the coronavirus outbreak is expected to get even worse before it gets better here in Indiana. RTV6 reporter Cameron Riddle explains why state leaders are sending that warning now.
Indiana's confirmed cases of coronavirus are rapidly rising, and Governor Eric Holcomb is hoping Hoosiers are taking it seriously.
This is urban, this is suburban, and this is rural. And if you don't think it's there or if you don't think it's coming, we need to talk.
In 24 hours, Indiana's coronavirus cases jumped to 981, increasing by 336. Holcomb says this is just the beginning.
You just heard the numbers. You realize that we don't see the peak yet. These numbers are compounding, especially in certain areas. This is like a snowball that's rolling downhill and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That's that community spread illustration.
While the governor is making it clear the worst is still to come, state officials couldn't give an exact projection of how many cases Indiana will see or how many ICU beds Indiana has and how many patients hospitals can hold.
We'll make sure the public knows as we approach the surge that we do know is coming, and right now we know that we have the inventory to handle where we are today. When we get closer to those numbers spiking or closer to that peak, we'll keep the public informed of alternative measures that we may have to take.
Working for you in Indianapolis, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
And the death of a nurse in New York is hitting close to home. Mariah Sharon says her brother tested positive for COVID-19. Days before he died, he texted his sister from the ICU.
In the text, he said, "I can't talk because I choke." He was having difficulty breathing. He said, "I'm going to be okay." And he said, "Please don't tell Mom and Dad because they'll worry."
Sharon is a faculty member at Ivy Tech in Indianapolis. She says her brother, 48-year-old Caius Kelly, died Tuesday from the virus after getting sick 2 weeks ago. Sharon says healthcare workers across the country are now reaching out to her, sharing their stories and concerns.
It is dire. It is dire. What I'm also hearing from nurses is it's only the doctors that have the N95 mask the nurses, the janitors, the food, everyone else is wide open.
According to his Facebook page, Kelly graduated from Butler. He worked at Mount Sinai Health West Hospital in Manhattan.
New York has become the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak in the U.S., but cases are growing around the country, and efforts to control the pandemic are not just limited to hospitals. ABC's Mark Stewart explains the role the Navy is now playing in fighting the virus.
The U.S. Navy hospital ship Mercy arriving in the port of Los Angeles today. The vessel won't be treating those suffering from the coronavirus because the tight confines of the ship aren't suited for that. But its 1,000 hospital beds are perfectly suited to treat patients in need of other medical attention. Michigan and Louisiana among the states now seeing a surge in new cases. This doctor describing the scene in New Orleans.
It's sort of like watching a train crash in slow motion.
The pandemic claiming more lives. Washington, D.C.'s mayor announcing a member of her staff died after contracting COVID-19.
My prayers right now are with his family, his entire team, and of course, we will be supporting them during this very difficult time.
And in Kansas, a 74-year-old man passed away. At first, doctors thought he had the flu and sent him home, but he later returned to the hospital, testing positive. But by then, it was too late to save him.
They couldn't do the test because he didn't have any fever. He was fully engulfed with pneumonia in that short a time.
In Albany, Georgia, where residents are being criticized for not practicing social distancing, one official worries a possible stigma of COVID-19 is keeping some people from getting help.
There are families in this community that have walled themselves off because they're afraid of seeking the services that they need to get.
Mark Stewart, ABC News, New York.
Now to the economic impact of the coronavirus outbreak. It's unclear exactly when millions of Americans will get stimulus checks from the government, but the bill to make that happen is now law. Today, the House approved the legislation and President Trump signed it. The $2 trillion deal is the largest emergency aid package in U.S. history. Key elements include the stimulus checks, a major expansion of unemployment benefits, and money for hard-hit hospitals and healthcare providers.
Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett is taking some extra steps to help some small business owners. The city is now offering a 2-month rent deferral for all tenants in the main hall of City Market. The city owns the downtown property. Mayor Hogsett says he's trying to set a good example for other landlords.
Today's effort to defer payment and to make that repayment schedule as flexible as we can make it, I think is the responsible thing for all landlords to do. So I hope they would follow the example and help our tenants get through this crisis as quickly and as well as they can.
Statewide, Governor Holcomb has issued a moratorium on evictions during the coronavirus crisis. Carmel has quickly reversed course when it comes to golf courses. Yesterday, Mayor Jim Brainerd announced a policy that took social distancing mandates a step further by closing golf courses in that city. After consulting with medical experts, Mayor Brainerd announced today that courses will be allowed to reopen under strict guidelines. Those rules include no riding carts or push carts unless they are privately owned, no T markers, and staff members cannot handle bags or clubs.
RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers initiative is always committed to connecting you to job opportunities and resources. But that mission is even more urgent now as unemployment skyrockets amid the COVID-19 outbreak. Tonight, we're learning more about a facility in Noblesville that is hiring aggressively. 5-Star Senior Living is looking to hire about 20 people, from certified nursing assistants to cooks to servers.
We know there's a lot of restaurants that have closed down, and those restaurants are only doing carry-out. So we really want to reach out to those servers because we have availability in our dining areas.
If you have a passion for taking care of senior citizens, go to hiringhoosiers.com to learn more about the positions and to find a link to apply. You can also go to that website to find job opportunities with other companies that are hiring right now.
Coming up, how a central Indiana man is transforming toothbrushes to help fight the spread of coronavirus, and the familiar voice that inspired him.
And the outbreak has led to the cancellation of countless weddings, but that's not stopping a local bridal shop from celebrating happy couples. The new effort that will have you believing in the power of love.
RTV6 is working for you.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
You know, you're the one who taught it to me, and I figured I'd give it a chance.
A central Indiana man on the autism spectrum is hoping to share an idea to help slow the spread of coronavirus. He wants more people to know about a tool that he's using to cut back on something a lot of people struggle with, and that is not touching your face. RTV6's Cornelius Hawker shows you how it works and where he got this idea.
Tyler Spicknell is doing his part to help you remember to keep your hands off your face.
I'm hoping it could knowledge of it could spread, you know?
He's creating face scratchers out of toothbrushes.
Don't brush your teeth with it, you know? It's just for face and all that.
He's hoping to get them to people who still have to go out and work in the public while some of us are staying inside. However, he wanted to be clear about something.
I wanted to admit that Debbie was the one who, came up with the idea.
That is just so wonderful and so what's the word? It was it's inspired on your part to share it with other people.
If you think you recognize her voice, you're probably right. Debbie Derryberry has brought to life countless characters in cartoons, anime, and video games. It was a video on her Instagram that gave Tyler the idea to make face scratchers.
I have the honor of having a great audience, and if there's something that I want to share, I'm going to share it, and hopefully it can reach a lot more people than, just people who aren't in my position.
Through Zoom, Tyler and Debbie were able to meet. Debbie even showed off her own face scratcher.
So this is a yellow toothbrush with a little yellow box. You can get these so easy, and it just snaps on, and that way it stays clean.
Of course, the character she's probably known most for, Jimmy Neutron, also had to make an appearance.
Hi, Tyler. It's Jimmy Neutron, and I do a lot of inventions, but I really like the way that you're helping make Debbie Derryberry's invention bigger. So, thanks a bunch. Got a blast.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was RTV6's Cornelius Hawker, highlighting one of the many ways that Hoosiers are working together and looking out for each other. And Amanda, you spoke with a small business owner who's working to spread the love during this tough time.
And Mark, we could all use a little extra love right now, too. A bridal shop business is facing temporary closures at its stores, but they're hoping your love stories can help others in more ways than one. The boutiques are lined with the bride's dreams, stunning gowns to walk right into wedding bliss. These brides-to-be, each with their own love story.
We hear all these stories all the time because, when we're talking to the brides, we're learning about their relationships.
But with so many wedding plans put on hold and others facing their own challenges, this bridal shop wanted to make sure love is still in the air. Anne-Marie Calling is one part of the mother-daughter duo behind Marie Gabriel Couture Bridal.
Love is a great work environment, and we get to see this on a daily basis. We know how happy it makes us. We thought it could make others happy at the end of the day.
So they're asking their followers on Instagram to share a chapter of their love story. And for each story, the store will donate $10 to Wheeler Mission and Meals on Wheels. The Calling family will match the final donation, and the responses are pouring in. Love stories like, we met on Tinder in college and we'll be married in November. And we met in school with our first date in Rome. Even famous dress designer Haley Page sharing her story, how she met her man through a mutual friend's dog party. Marie Gabriel Couture has received almost 100 responses so far, turning into a $2,000 donation from the company and their family to the Indy area charities.
Hopefully things will calm down in a bit, but in the meantime, it's a little bit that we can do as Marie Gabriel back to the community that's helped us so much.
It's a small way this Indianapolis company is working together to not only share some joy for your heart in your Instagram feeds, but to make sure our heroes on the front line are loved and taken care of too.
It's a hard time, whether you're kind of quarantining at home or maybe some people are by themselves, just trying to spread a little bit of happiness.
And you can participate in the fundraiser right now by following Marie Gabriel Couture on Bridal on Instagram and sharing your marital wisdom or social distancing survival tips. If you know any organizations, businesses, or people who are working together during this difficult time, let us know. Share the positive efforts by emailing us at workingforyou@rtv6.com. Kevin, got any tips?
Let's see. I better get this right. Almost 32 years of marriage for me, so hang with it. That's what I would say. Storm Shield, it's a free app. It's a weather radio for your phone. It'll give you peace of mind whenever we have severe storms. I'm obviously in my home studio. I just want to point out to you that during severe weather, I would be at the RTV6 studios to track the storms. Let's talk about what's happening as we go through the overnight. Right now, central Indiana, not much. Down to the south, you're about ready to get a big downpour. You're hearing the thunder as the lightning rolls through Brownstown to Seymour, all moving to the north and east. There'll be additional thunderstorms that follow that are near Bedford now. 73 during the day tomorrow. That's significant warmth. 59 on Sunday. The thunderstorm timing becomes most likely as we get to 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. And I should qualify that by saying the strongest storms likely during that time period. We may have some isolated hail-producing storms first thing in the morning. Sunday, a different feel as we have 40-mile-per-hour gusts and temperatures that fall back into the 50s. Rain, some moderate to heavy, expected during the afternoon hours and evening tomorrow night. A bullseye for severe weather potential over portions of Illinois, really the west central portion. There is a moderate risk of severe weather. An enhanced risk comes into Indiana around Fowler, Williamsport, Attica, and Lafayette. Slight risk elsewhere. Tornado, large hail, high wind. 3 modes of severe weather that we'll have to keep an eye on for the evening storms and tomorrow night. Some of those may extend into the early overnight hours. There's your probability of rain tomorrow. It does increase as we get toward midnight and just after. That'll be the actual cold front, which will send our temperatures from the 70s into the 50s. A lot happens here in the next 24 hours. As you look at your 7-day forecast, real spring-like warmth tomorrow, 73, but with the thunderstorms. A morning round, then we wait on evening thunderstorms. Sunday drying out 59, dry Monday with temperatures in the 50s, lower 50s. It's a much cooler rain as we get to Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So everybody have a good weekend. I'll likely be in with Kyle tomorrow as the severe storm threat ramps up late in the day.
All right, we appreciate that, Kevin. I like your home setup, too. The stay-at-home order and restaurant restrictions have more people baking and cooking. One local company is saying we're open by giving families a sweet reason to get together in the kitchen. RTV6's Brad Brown explains the inspiration behind DIY donut kits and how you can get one.
It's pretty easy to agree that there's never really a bad time for donuts. Some of the best in our area come from Jack's.
I've been in this my whole life, and donuts were at my house every Saturday morning. Growing up now, my kids, I have 3 sons, we have Donut Friday every Friday, and there's a lot of families like that, and it's what the heart and soul of this business is.
Many of Central Indiana's Jack's Donuts locations have stayed open for takeout. Dozens are going out the door every day.
Right now is the time to not work harder but smarter. And Jack's has always been a community-based company. Every store that we open and every community we go in, we always say, don't just open up, be a part of that community.
But now there's a little something more to give your kids a chance to do some donut art of their own. Jack's has come up with this new take-home donut kit, pre-packed, ready to go. It includes 1 dozen of their family recipe yeast donuts, 4 big cups of frosting, 2 chocolate and 2 white, and there are sprinkles, of course.
If I'm not mistaken, sprinkles are their own food group.
Then the fun begins. Time to get the frosting where it needs to be. A few sprinkles or a few more. But let's say you've gone through that frosting quicker than expected. How about a little freestyle frosting session? Peanut butter and banana? Elvis would approve. Sweetened cream cheese and peach jam? Sure, why not? And how about rolling one in melted butter? Then sugar and cinnamon? State Fair comes early.
what's happening is the stores that are staying open right now, the community is really rallying around them, and it's worked out well for us.
So as much fun as it's been decorating these donuts, the real payoff is in the tasting. The only question is which one to have first. Working for you, Brad Brown, RTV6.
Eat them all, Brad. Eat them all. Thank you. Hey, go to our website, theindychannel.com, for an extensive list of restaurants and other businesses that are still open to serve you.
We have a family whose stuff already shipped. The car shipped, their home goods shipped, and now they're stuck here until they don't know when without the things that they need.
New and next, why the COVID-19 pandemic is leaving some military families in limbo and the resources available to them.
Live on CourtTV.com. This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
The coronavirus outbreak is impacting our nation's military in specific ways. This week, the government put a 60-day freeze on deployments, upending some families' plans in this uncertain time. The freeze also means some troops overseas cannot come home. Scripps reporter Amanda Brandeis shows how groups around the country are helping to make sure military families have what they need.
We're an organization that believes that if you've chosen to serve, you deserve to be able to stay in your house, get food on the table, and get those basic necessities, and then we're going to work with you on how to maintain that forever.
In the face of change, military families are resilient.
We moved from Ohio to Virginia, then North Carolina, and then California, and that has all been in less than 2 years.
Marine Corps wife Kathleen Martinez says the pandemic adds a new layer of complexity to their lives.
They have no idea where they're going yet. They are going to be deploying. It could be for 9 months, could be more or less.
We have a family whose stuff already shipped. The car shipped, their home goods shipped, and now they're stuck here until they don't know when without the things that they need.
And now spouses of those serving in the armed forces are facing cut hours and layoffs.
That secondary source of income can be their car payment.
Nonprofits like Support the Enlisted Project in Southern California are holding emergency drive-through events to help young military families, many of whom are below the federal poverty level.
And we did sizes 3 and 4.
Perfect. So today is a day to alleviate some of those expenses. We're offering toilet paper. Yay, we've got toilet paper to give away. Diapers, at least 2 weeks worth of diapers for every kid in the family. And, just an opportunity to say hello.
If you pull up next to the table, reach out the window. It's just like In and Out, only not.
They did it all at a safe distance, and there's help like this across the country.
Copy all.
In all 50 states, military families can call 211 for access to basic necessities, financial assistance, and mental health resources.
Wish you could stay longer and visit.
These groups want families to know they're not alone.
Knowing that someone is on your side helping you, that makes it a little less scary, I think.
Reporting in San Diego, I'm Amanda Brandeis.
And the Military Family Relief Fund has created a special COVID-19 emergency assistance program. You can find info and an application on the Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs website. We'll be right back.
2 months on 12 models.
Storms with heavy rain, lots of lightning just rolled through Seymour. They're headed toward North Vernon. Additional thunderstorms overnight, and I think that will be in the northern half of the state. Some of these may be strong, containing some hail, certainly some heavy downpours. Between 7 a.m. and 10, we'll wrap that up and wait for more storms during the evening hours on Saturday. Amanda?
Thanks for making RTV6 your choice for news. Nightline is next. Good night.